10 o'clock, welcome in. We're live at Social Taco because it's a Tuesday, the Christmas party edition that Don has put together for another year. Landry Roberts, Pat Smith, Molly hanging out here. Conrad's going to join us a little bit later. He's anchoring things in the studios of Jocks. Pat, how are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. I hope you guys are as well on a beautiful day. Hopefully a lot of folks will come out here and enjoy us on the Taco Terrace.
That's right. It's a mix and match tacos all day long. You've got all kinds of different specials. If you want to go with the tacos, they've got great burritos, Mexican pizzas, the chicken feathers to start. You just want to come out and hang out with friends and a little fun and fellowship here in this holiday season. But we got plenty to talk about today.
Yeah, we do. Typically, Mike Griffith joins us at the beginning of the show on Tuesdays. Once again, the schedule this week is a little bit different for Georgia, so he's going to join the program tomorrow. So we've got a little time here at the beginning of the program to hear from you at 1-800-239-WJOX. 205-834-9450 is the number on the courtesy GMC text line. Joining us at the bottom of the hour, he will come by and see us, Nick Kelly, who covers the Alabama Crimson Tide for AL.com. I saw Nick over the weekend there in the press box at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. We'll get his feelings on what we saw and what we should expect as Alabama tries to get better, get healed. Right now the game is a pick'em against Oklahoma. I just saw a few moments ago that the remaining tickets are on sale right now at Oklahoma. I'm sure those will go pretty fast here in the next few minutes. Those are for the general population there in Norman, Oklahoma. Nick will be on. We'll also talk to Scott Hamilton, a columnist there in the Carolinas. He's also an AP and a Heisman voter. We will talk to him about this weekend's college football playoff rankings, what needs to be done moving forward. Also get his thoughts on the Heisman. He can't tell us who he voted for. That's part of the lure of being a Heisman voter, but he can give us his thoughts on the voting process. And then, of course, Dimitri Ravenos will join the show at 1 o'clock. So a lot to get into today.
Yeah, who would you vote for Heisman? Would it be Mendoza? Would that be your guy?
Probably yes.
Yeah, I think that would be mine as well.
Yep, either that or Diego. So, but I am not a Heisman voter. Maybe one day.
It's really hard not to like Mendoza.
Yeah, good guy, good interview, and just to think that there were a lot of people that had an opportunity to grab him out of the portal last year.
Yeah, and he chose Indiana.
Yep, sure did. Middle of America. One thing is for sure, the last two nights, if you're an NFL fan, watching the Chiefs on Sunday night and watching that game last night, and I know there was a little bit of drama, but my goodness gracious, the turnovers last night, that was brutal. 4 interceptions by Jalen Hurts. And one play, Conrad, for those that did not see it, please explain the craziness of the one play that turned out to be a turnover machine for both teams.
Yeah, so you had 3 turnovers on one play because Jalen Hurts throws an interception. Then the Chargers guy that makes the interception, he's on the return. He fumbles it, and Jalen Hurts recovers that fumble, only to then fumble it back to the Chargers. So the Chargers ultimately ended up with the ball. But you had a Jalen Hurts interception, a Chargers fumble, and then a Jalen Hurts fumble on the same play.
And it was amazing, and I was really hoping that the Chargers would have fumbled it again.
Yes.
Like when he was tackled, but that did not happen. But Eagles got problems, guys. I mean,
it's been a weird year in the NFL with your perennial favorites.
Yeah, 22-19, the final in overtime. Cameron Dicker hits 5 field goals, 5 last night as the Chargers win. But, the big story in the NFL today is Fairhope, Alabama's own Phillip Rivers is having a tryout with the Indianapolis Colts. And what's so ironic is that he is coaching a Catholic high school down in Fairhope. And right now, the son of the Fairhope, Riley Leonard, is the backup quarterback for Daniel Jones, and he's got a PCL sprain, and so that's why they call him Phillip Rivers. So you got Phillip going from Fairhope to potentially to back up a guy that played at Fairhope High School, which is kind of a neat little local connection.
It is neat, and I don't know how long they would need Phillip Rivers. What is 44 years old? Goodness gracious.
Turned 44 yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, if you remember,
he's older than
Riley
Leonard. Yeah.
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you remember a couple years ago when the 49ers were in the NFC Championship and Brock Purdy was hurt, they had called Phillip Rivers, and if they had made the Super Bowl that year, Phillip Rivers was going to come out of retirement and start the Super Bowl for the 49ers.
That is crazy. And the thing about it is that he's a semifinalist to be inducted into the National Football League Hall of Fame. Now, if he takes one snap on that field, it resets the 5-year window. And he's a semifinalist for 2026.
Yeah.
I mean, he's 44.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's
it's not like
44.
he's 74.
And I guess working with a high school team year round, I mean, he can still throw the rock a little bit, right?
You know, another interesting irony to all of this is that he has worked, and a lot of people in our neck of the woods, they know the organization Quarterback Country. They deal with high school quarterbacks. They deal with quarterbacks in general. And over the last few years, you've had a situation where Phillip Rivers worked with Bo Nix. He's obviously worked with Riley Leonard. He's worked with some other guys, that are now quarterbacks in the NFL. And so now he is potentially going back to work again in the National Football League.
I guess the tryout will reveal how desperate the Colts are.
Well, it's interesting because if everything's good, then he's placed from a roster perspective on the practice squad. And then from the practice squad, you got to see what the situation is with Riley Leonard's knee. And if Riley Leonard is a go, then he would be the emergency so-called backup. But if you're Phillip Rivers, do you want to do that, or do you want to say, I will come out of retirement, but I'm going to play. I'm not going to go and hold a clipboard and see what happens here. So
a little bit of a different situation. We had a Stallions quarterback that was working at Dunkin' Donuts and then came out of Dunkin' Donuts and started playing in the UFL.
So Phillip Rivers, how many kids does he have?
A lot. A ton.
I couldn't remember.
I will look it up.
I think it's close to double digits.
Is it?
Okay. I'm gonna guess 8.
And Molly just said that is it the oldest?
The oldest is older than Riley Leonard.
Okay.
Like barely, but still older.
And it's interesting because watching the son that he currently coaches, who's the quarterback of that high school team.
10 children.
He throws almost identical the way Phillip did.
Yes. Yes, he does. 10 kids, man. That's a lot.
He's a grandfather.
You go 5-on-5 basketball out in the yard.
So then the question is, how old's Eli Manning?
I mean, they're got to be about the same age.
Yeah, yep.
How about Drew Brees?
Because Eli was at Ole Miss when I was in college.
Well, didn't Eli – well, no, that was Eli and Drew Brees when they came out of college, right, with that whole thing? Yeah, Eli's 44.
And Drew Brees is 46. I was trying to think of some other quarterbacks in that realm. Could they come out of retirement?
How old is Joe Flacco?
Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I think Joe Flacco's 38,
Don't
maybe.
give Brady any ideas.
He's 40.
He's 40? Wow.
Well, that's immediate with what I thought was, is this going to prompt or maybe spark Tom Brady to get back at it, right?
Yeah.
He's but now with the partial ownership, doing the broadcasting thing, I don't think Brady does it.
No, I think Brady's improved.
He has.
From a broadcasting standpoint.
Yep.
Or how old's Fitzpatrick? I mean, he's played for like 27
Fitzmagic's got to be 40, right?
I mean, he's like McAfee. He takes his shirt off almost every Thursday
43.
night during the broadcast. He's 43?
Yeah.
Okay, so all those quarterbacks I just mentioned are in the – I did not realize that Breeze was the oldest of all those that we just brought up.
Well, I bet it's harder to put on socks every morning.
Do you think
Tua – You got that money, though.
Do you think
Tua
Tua will be quarterbacking into his 40s, Conrad?
No, I do not. I don't know if he'll be quarterbacking into his 30s. How old is he now?
That's what I was about to say.
Is that where the NFL steps in and they're like, we're not going to let you do this?
Yeah, you've had a good enough run.
We're actually going to pay you a little bit more money not to play.
Oh, yeah, he's 27. He's got 3 more years. He might not make it to 30. Hey, the Dolphins are good now. They've won like 4 games in a row.
Yeah, they're 6-7 now,
They're good,
right?
They're good
Something
now.
like that.
Yeah. Turned it around.
Good luck to Phillip Rivers.
Yeah.
What do you think that workout looks like? Is that like 1 40-yard sprint? All right, we're good. You can do it.
I think it's him.
Throw the out.
Yeah. You throw the long out.
You throw the deep ball.
Yeah.
Catch a snap. How are your eyes, old man? Can you see the sideline?
Yep.
Oh, never mind. We got in-helmet communication. No big deal there.
Put him on echo to make sure everything in his ticker's okay.
What if Rockport sponsors him and develops a cleat for him to wear? Velcro straps, Rockports. I put on a pair of Rockports the other day.
Comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like walking on clouds, man. I know when my grandfather wore them so many years.
It's very comfortable.
Yeah. You pair them for the holidays with a good pair of Sansabelt pants. Woo! You will turn heads at your holiday party. Put on that sweater that Don Don's got on. Everybody's going to love it.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
That's good looking.
All right, so Alabama is off the practice field until Friday. So that will be the first time that they get back. And we'll talk to Nick Kelly coming up at the bottom of the hour. But one thing is for sure, and we saw it in Atlanta over the weekend, this team is beat up big time. Not really sure how much rest is going to be needed to maybe potentially get back Jam Miller. I was told last week that Jam Miller had an epidural, and he was going through some stuff trying to see if he could get ready to play for the SEC championship game. That's why you kept seeing on the initial injury report that he was potentially, because they were working on some stuff to see if he could get loosened up enough to where he can make the cuts and he could play. But at the end of the day, they decided not to. I was told weeks ago that Cuevas potentially had a bone maybe in his foot that was acting up, and they were hoping to get him back maybe for the first round of the college football playoff. So here we are. So maybe Nick.
Like a bone spur?
Either that or maybe a small fracture in his foot.
Mm.
And then LT Overton having an issue with his leg, and so hoping for the best for him.
With the rematch, you would typically, I would look at it and say the rematch, I would give the advantage to the team who came up just short in the first meeting. But with it being a Norman and being a true home game, is that the equalizer for you where it cancels it out?
Yeah, I mean, more than anything in the world, and it's just like Saturday in Atlanta, you got to play a clean game, period. And Alabama didn't play a clean game. It was going to be a tough game anyway against Georgia, but it was just the fact that, you had the interception, you had the turnover, you had the special teams disaster. That's what happened against Oklahoma the last time.
Was Tennessee the last clean game that Alabama had?
I think you're forgetting East Illinois, Landrum.
Well, but that wasn't clean, though. They had 2 interceptions in that game.
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
They
You're
did.
Right.
You're absolutely
Yeah,
right.
Tennessee might have been
game.
it. Yeah. Man, that's been a minute. Yeah, you're right, though. You're not going to be able to turn the ball over. You've got to protect the football. You can't give Oklahoma a short field. Make them earn it, unlike what we saw at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Make them earn it.
I did see a future line if Alabama gets past Oklahoma. As of right now, on a future line, if you want to throw some shillings down on it, Alabama would be a 5-point underdog to Indiana.
Okay.
You like that number? You think it's too high, too low?
5 is enticing. I'd be tempted to go Hoosiers there.
Hoosiers in the points?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Right now. It's hard to forget the way that Alabama's played down the stretch.
Very much so.
Saturday is going to be hard to forget. Even the Iron Bowl and some of what we saw is going to be tough to forget. And then Oklahoma. And I think that's where maybe the hang-up is with some of the people saying that Alabama didn't deserve to get in. And it was just strictly on eye test for those folks. I'm not one of them, but if they have turned on and watched Alabama play the last few games down the stretch of the season, it doesn't look like the Alabama team that beat Georgia or that played the clean game against Tennessee.
Yep.
And they had things rolling.
Nick Kelly from AL.com, who covers Alabama. He will join us at the bottom of the hour. Next hour, we'll talk to Scott Hamilton. He's a columnist in the Carolinas, also an AP and a Heisman voter. We'll get his thoughts on the awards ceremony coming up this weekend. Also, Dimitri Ravanos later on in the show.
Well, you don't want to get caught in the cold, so schedule your system checkup now from a Train Comfort Specialist. Train has been recognized for 11 consecutive years as America's most trusted HVAC brand and our exclusive home comfort partners here at Jock. So go and visit Train.com to find a comfort specialist near you.
Well, the world of college football, they're on pins and needles because coming up at the top of the hour, Pete Bavacqua, who is the athletics director at Notre Dame, is having a press conference. What could he possibly say? We'll
secede.
We'll give you some rumors. We'll give you some rumors that's making the rounds in college football on that. Much more straight ahead. We're live at Social Taco on Jocks. It is 10:18. We're live at Social Taco. Doors officially open up at 11, but you can go on and sneak on up here. We got a big crowd expected here on the Taco Terrace. It's kind of the listeners they're having their own Christmas party.
I forgot my ugly
Dessert?
Christmas sweater.
Oh, thought you didn't supposed to bring a dessert.
No, I did not realize today was the day. Actually, I thought it was next week.
Was it?
Yep, the Christmas party. But would it be awkward if I brought a dessert next week
No, I'm sure I'll be eating.
and wore my Christmas sweater?
No.
We're actually closer to the day. I feel like it's more appropriate. Why did Don schedule this Christmas party so early?
I don't know. Maybe him and BB decided. I don't know.
I mean, everybody knows it's supposed to be.
He says that we can do another one next week.
This will be.
Party.
Will that be the Felice Navidad version?
I
Is
guess.
that what it's going to be?
I'm not really sure. We've got about a few more days left. You need to go to abideroof.com because I've been telling you that Abide Roofing is giving one deserving homeowner a brand new roof completely free. This isn't a gimmick. It's not a sales pitch. It's their way of saying thank you for the community that has trusted Abide Roofing with their home. So here's how it works. You fill out a quick form at abideroof.com. You can nominate yourself, someone who deserves it. Watch out for the winning announcement, which is coming up very soon. Value is up to a 30-square roof for roughly $13,000. Maybe it's someone who's fallen on hard times, who can't afford repairs to their home. Maybe it's a veteran, first responder, teacher who's always giving back to others. Maybe it's that pillar of the community or a neighbor in need. All you got to do is go to abideroofing.com, fill out the form. Abide Roofing, they want to hear the story. They want to be able to help those in need here during the Christmas holiday season because Abide Roofing, they believe everyone deserves a safe, reliable roof over their head, and this is their way of giving back. You can enter through December 12th. Winner will be announced on December 19th. So for complete details and to enter the free roofing giveaway, visit abideroof.com. Coming up at 11 o'clock, Pete Bavacqua, the athletics director at Notre Dame University. He is going to meet with the media. And I was telling Conrad this earlier, Landrum. The thing that perplexes me about this whole Notre Dame situation, this guy was on the rounds yesterday. Anybody that had a show or a podcast, this guy did an interview.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody. Now, most of everybody was north of the Mason-Dixon line. Did not see him popping up on any good old Southern shows. He wasn't on the Michael Bratton podcast. You know, he wasn't on our station. He wasn't on Matt Moscona. You get the point.
Did he go on with Buck Bellew?
No. He was on with Dave Portnoy, Dan Patrick, you name it. He was on these shows yesterday. So I'm just curious, what in the world could he be saying at 11 o'clock today that he hasn't already said? Like he's already told the world yesterday that he's mad at the ACC, that there's been significant damage done to the relationship between the conference. Yesterday, Jim Phillips released a statement saying the University of Notre Dame is an incredibly valued member of the ACC, and there's tremendous respect and appreciation for the entire institution. With that said, when it comes to football, we have a responsibility to support and advocate for all 17 of our football-playing member institutions, and I stand behind our conference efforts to do just that. Goes on and on and on. So we'll see what he says.
Yeah. I mean, does he announce potentially that he's already told us that the relationship has been permanently damaged? Does he announce that there's not going to be this loose alliance anymore and they're going to go with another scheduling option?
All right, you mean to tell you the wild rumor that's out there? And this is a rumor.
Yeah.
Not reporting it. I'm just telling you that's out there in the hinterlands.
After the last 3 weeks, I think we could take one more rumor.
Okay. I'll give you a rumor. The rumor is that Notre Dame is going to use this situation that happened over the weekend, and they're going to sue the ACC for breach of anti-disparagement clause that is in their contract.
I thought you were going to say join the MAC.
So they're going to sue them because of the CFP sabotage in their belief, and if they win the lawsuit, they can walk away penalty-free from the ACC because there is a penalty. Because they do participate in 24 other sports in the ACC.
Right.
So there would be a penalty. Now, the penalty to get out of the ACC, if, let's say, today Pete Bavacqua said, you know what, we're done. We're tired of these people. We're heading somewhere else, but we're not going to be there. It would cost them between $50 and $100 million. And we all know if there's a school, Notre Dame could do that in a heartbeat with a collection plate at Sunday Mass.
Yeah, but they don't want to.
No, they don't want to because it's potentially not necessary. But if they feel motivated enough and so ticked off at the situation, they could potentially do that. Then, if you do sue the ACC, then you could turn around and try to get between $20 and $50 million in damages that could offset some of the costs of them leaving the ACC. But the hypothetical future for those that want to know, okay, well, where would they go? Well, I think we all agree the Big Ten would take them in a heartbeat, and maybe they get the same type of deal with the Big Ten that they got with the ACC, which is potentially 5 rotating Big Ten games. You have one fixed rivalry with someone in the Big Ten. You get to keep all your full NBC money, plus you might get a check for about $15 million from the Big Ten Conference because of their media rights. You get automatic bowl tie-ins with the Big Ten. You have a stronger CFP path than what you currently have, even with the memo of understanding saying that if you're a top 12 team next year, you get into the college football playoff. Not to mention the fact the Big Ten gets better ratings than what Notre Dame currently gets on NBC. So that's the big crazy rumor out there. I'm not saying that 11 o'clock that he is going to go down this road,
Oh,
but
I
it
hope
would
he
be
does.
fascinating if he does.
I
It'd
hope
be
he
great.
does, Pat, because this would make what would the third ACC school that has sued their own conference.
But yes,
Florida State, Clemson, and now Notre Dame.
but I'm going to give him credit. I'm going to let him tell you this was Conrad's idea. Give him the idea you told me this morning that would just absolutely be gold if this were to happen.
The idea for
Notre Dame, if they announced today that some other schools, remember that?
Oh,
path
yeah,
with
no,
them?
if you're Notre Dame and you go, all right, you call Florida State, you call Clemson, you call North Carolina, and you say, hey, you guys still want to get out of here. All right, we're going to pull our money together, but we're Notre Dame, and we hate the ACC so much, and we're so rich that we're going to cover part of that cost for you guys, but you have to leave right now.
Would that not be something?
That would be.
Say, hey, we'll
Wow.
pay half of it, we'll pay 25%, whatever that number is, but you have to make that announcement today, this week. We are taking action right now because the ACC is so corrupt, we can't be a part of this.
Who do you think would go with them? You think Miami would? Florida State?
Florida State, maybe.
North Carolina?
I could see that.
Clemson?
We can see that too.
Virginia?
Why not? Interesting.
Now, when Conrad brought that up as an idea,
I vote for Conrad's theory.
that would be just tremendous chaos.
That would be great.
That would be phenomenal.
But you know what? Pete Vivacqua, not so much Marcus Freeman, but more just Vivacqua and all those folks. Why don't you take a lesson from Clark Lee and what he said? Clark Lee,
Yeah, we had our chance.
Yeah.
yeah, we had a chance.
Didn't happen.
Didn't win the games we should have. We're not going to cry
That's what I
about
told
it.
Pat this morning. Have you heard a single Notre Dame person say, hey, you know what? If we had won one of those games, we'd be in.
I'm sure they're out there.
No, they're too busy talking about their great win in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Big road win they had. Just take a look at their schedule next year. Notre Dame's. Complete and utter joke. Big time. But what do you expect?
Now that you say it, I got to look at it.
Oh, it's going to make you sick.
I mean, outside of playing Miami at home,
They got Miami, USC, and SMU. Those are their three big opponents.
yeah. And even Tim O'Malley from Irish Illustrated, I was reading an article he wrote last night on the Irish Illustrated website, and he's even making fun of next year's schedule. He said, go ahead and get ready, folks, because we are going to get torpedoed nationally by how bad this schedule is.
Who did Michigan State hire?
Pat Fitzgerald.
Yeah. Okay. That could be interesting. Yeah, there's there's not a whole lot here.
And keep in mind, even if they scrape by and barely beat some of those pathetic teams based on the new contract with the college football
Yeah.
playoff, as long as you're in the top 12,
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Oh. Yeah, that's rough. No, Rice made a bowl game. Get them second.
With their 5-7
to
record.
play Wisconsin at Lambeau.
Yeah. All right.
Yee.
He's here. We're going to talk some Alabama football. Nick Kelly
Oh,
from
there he is.
AL.com. He joins us next on Three Man Front. It is 10:33 here on Jocks. Come by and see us. We're live at Social Taco in Homewood. Always fun to catch up with Nick Kelly. This is one of Nick's favorite haunts here at Social Taco. Anytime I can say, hey, come on, Nick, have some tacos,
Hey,
hang
Nick.
out, talk some Alabama football. Nick says, absolutely, I'm there.
It's kind of my thing. So happy to do it, and always enjoy getting out of the house to come talk to you guys.
Where does this season rank for you covering Alabama football?
In terms of just enjoyment?
Enjoyment.
Yeah. Well,
Fascination, storylines.
it's up there. I think 23 might be – so this is my 5th season on the beat. So 21 is my first. 23 I think was the most – I want to say fun, but it was most interesting because it was – okay, they lost early to Texas. This is the 14 playoffs, so you can barely afford even one loss at that point. And to me, and I didn't cover all of Nick Saban's seasons, but I think people who did would say that was his best coaching job that he did.
It was.
And so what he pulled out from that season, considering they made the Rose Bowl and they won the SEC, like it was a pretty remarkable recovery attempt. So I enjoyed that one a lot. But this one's up there. This one I'd say is top 3 just because some big wins, some tough games. I mean, obviously people are so focused on the now, but considering this team is in the playoff and was even in the playoff conversation after what happened at Florida State, if you would have told me that when I was driving back from Tallahassee, I would have laughed at you because that team was not good. That team was in a bad place, and here they are in the playoff.
All right, so it was interesting, and I told the story yesterday on the air because as we're sitting there in the press box prior to kickoff, and, I'm talking to other national college football writers, and just like we talked about last week with you, Nick, and with Mike Rodak and other guys that cover Alabama, it's like, okay, what's the formula to make sure that Alabama's in? Because what happened on Tuesday night, because of the flip with the rankings, everyone just said, look, just don't get blown out. And Alabama doesn't appear they're going to get blown out. Georgia, whatever. And so all of a sudden, we get to halftime, and then me and you and Rodak and Casagrande, we're all huddled up like going, okay, guys, what's the plan here? Because this is a definition of what we talked about before the game could not happen, and it was happening before our eyes.
It was, and it felt like, okay, I guess Alabama's really testing this committee now. Like, again, it really felt like Alabama was safe, and they were. Obviously, they stayed at the spot they were. But, yeah, the more the scoring differential started to grow, I was like, I don't know about this. Like, this might be the thing that could push them out, but it didn't. And I really didn't, and I think I told you this in the press box, which is good to see up there, by the way.
Yeah.
A little strange, but good to see anyway.
I only come out for the big ones.
He makes the effort for the big events,
Yeah,
he's not there for practice versus
I'm not there for Eastern Illinois.
No.
See, I knew it was a big game. I mean, obviously SEC championship, but I knew it was a big game once I saw Pat up there.
See?
So I mean, Conrad's there every so often, but
When Pat told me he was going, that's when I knew I had to watch.
you had to pay attention.
Like,
and you had to, see?
There might
And you
be
had
something
to.
to this game.
You
had
know what
to.
game? Yeah,
You had
I
to.
had to.
No, but anyway, I think I said in the press box, like, I didn't think that the committee would want to play executioner to the SEC championship game. Just I didn't see them wanting to play that role. I thought that they would bump Alabama to 10 just to show that, hey, we penalized them, and I thought that's why they built the buffer in to be able to do that. And so when they came up at 9, I was shocked because I really thought we were about to see a Notre Dame graphic, see a Miami graphic, not an Alabama graphic, but there was the Crimson logo or the script A, the Crimson color, and so they made it. But I'm not surprised they made it. I just didn't think it was going to be at 9.
I maintain the theory, and I think Pat agrees with me, that especially this committee with all the talk heading into the game, would they be penalized, would they be left out, why play a conference championship game? The committee wanted to ensure that they weren't setting the precedent that making your conference championship game was going to ultimately hurt you.
Yeah, and Bama certainly tested them because of how big that scoring differential was. And Kalen DeBoer made a good point. Obviously, he was trying to argue for why Alabama should be in the playoff. But if they were really just trying to preserve score and make it look as good as they could, they wouldn't necessarily have gone for it on, 4th and 2 on their own 12. And, he was going for the win. He was trying to win that game. And so you're not doing that if you're just trying to, hey, let's just keep it a 2-score game, make it look better.
Depending on who you talk to, you can use different terminologies to describe what you've seen from this Alabama football team over the course of the last month. Some folks say Alabama's playing with their food. You got others saying, it's a leaking car right now. In your opinion, what you're seeing, especially on the offensive side, because the defensive side is obviously, if they weren't halfway decent, these games might have different results than what they were. Is it injuries? Is it schematics? Like, what do you think it is right now with this Alabama offense?
I like the car metaphor because it's still working. The car still works. It's not. It hasn't.
It's just leaking oil pretty.
It's leaking
profusely.
oil. And the good news is,
It's a clunker.
There are things that you can do to make the car work better. I don't know if you're going to turn it into a brand new car, but there are things that you can do to make this car run better and to at least get you from point A to point B in an efficient manner. So it's not necessarily going to be pretty. It's not going to be just some sports car out there, but I think there are ways to make this car work better. So to me, yeah, it's a combination of things. It's more than anything, they need this time off just to get healthy. I think we focus on the guys who didn't play, but the guys who did play, there are many that pushed through some things. I mean, Jeremy Bernard was one guy who's been pushing through stuff. He missed the Eastern Illinois game, but he needs some time to heal. You got Parker Brailsford, who's been dealing with some lower leg stuff that he's been pushing through. And give him credit. I mean, he was not doing well in that Auburn game physically, and he kept trying to make it go. Ty Simpson, the toll of the season physically, he needs time to recover. I mean, he's been getting hit hard at times. So there are several guys that I think are going to benefit from the time off that have been playing even. So I think that plays a role. Then you also just have the element of, okay, the guys who have been out. I mean, Josh Cuevas, I cannot overstate how massive him being out has been for Alabama, considering that he was a guy that Ty could often turn to when he needed to get rid of the ball quickly, when he needed to have sure hands, a guy who can make a play. I mean, other than Jeremy Bernard, I think Josh Cuevas has been their most reliable receiving option for Ty. So, yeah, it's getting guys healthy. I think that is paramount to all of this. I'm not saying it's going to fix everything,
right,
but I think you're going to see things – because even just not just for the game, but having in practice, having these guys be able to work together, because when they are banged up but they can't practice, then, I mean, yeah, sure, say Parker and Ty have worked together a lot, but you still need practice reps every single week to try to build your offense and be successful. And I realize I'm focusing a lot on the offense here, but that's a big source of problem, because I think I was watching the Georgia game back yesterday.
Bless your heart.
And then I folled up by watching the Oklahoma
You just wanted to remember,
well.
didn't you, Nick?
I was like, all right, let's.
This is what it looks like when it's going well.
I was like, man, this film study is something. But no, like the defense played pretty darn well in the first half against Georgia. I actually only made it to halftime. I was trying to watch the entire tape, but yeah, I mean the defense played well. I mean they just got put in some tough spots. So as long as that's the thing, this sounds simple. It's not simple, but it kind of is. As long as Alabama's offense and special teams don't put the defense in a tough spot, they've got enough offensively. They can muster enough at this point that just, hey, counter your defense. Maybe they can get a takeaway or two, and just don't mess it up for them and just play some decent football. And I think Alabama can win this Oklahoma game.
Nick, I unlike some people, I don't put it all on the quarterback, and especially, and Pat knows it from doing games and being there. Looking from the quarterback's perspective, what they're having to see and make those decisions, it's tough. It is so tough. Ty Simpson, he was in a groove early in the season, and now I realize that there are contributing factors that are causing him and causing the results of some of the plays that he's involved in where he gets a lot of criticism, sometimes unfairly. But it does seem like maybe it's between the ears a little bit with Ty Simpson. Those pinpoint throws that he was making in tight spaces earlier in the season doesn't seem to have the same confidence that he did.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot at play here, and I'll try to keep it brief, but I think a couple things that come to mind. One, again, just the physical toll of the season. I think plays a big role in terms of, I mean, it sounds like how that impacts accuracy, but it can. Just say you have something just a little bit different in your back or just anything. Like it's going to impact you in some ways. So I think that plays a role. I do think, there are some throws he would like to have back or some that he needs to throw in a different spot. But then he's faced a lot of pressure. I think Georgia had some of the most pressure he's faced in a bit. You also look at receivers have dropped balls. Like there were 6 drops according to PFF in that Georgia game. They had 14 total in SEC play before that game. So he's not necessarily getting that help. So basically, Alabama at this point, because the offensive line play has been inconsistent, they need Ty to make an occasional play that he maybe shouldn't, so to speak. I mean, frankly, that almost touchdown to Jeremy, where he's spinning around and he's extending the play. He kind of made the play, and to Jeremy's credit, like there was some traffic in front of him, but it hit him right in the chest.
Well, I was going to say, so if we're going back to the car analogy, guys, this would be not only was it, oh my gosh, my transmission's acting up, but I've also got a tail light that's out. I've also got this going on, and it all happened, it seemed like, at the same point in the season.
Yeah, and when you talk about the mental part, for Ty, like, I mean, he's 22 years old. Like, of course it's going to be discouraging when things don't work out. So I'm sure that plays some role as well. When say you're getting hit one play and then you have an incompletion the next play, like, yeah, it's going to affect you some mentally. And I mean, Ty's a smart guy. He's got some good mental fortitude. But, again, he's 22. Like, some of those things are going to come up where, yeah, you're going to get discouraged. And I wouldn't blame him for some of that. So I think, unfortunately, it's just you have guys out. Another small thing, too, Jam Miller being out. I don't think it's as massive in the run game as it is the passing game. For him to be able to catch passes, like that swing pass to Daniel Hill.
There's a couple of them.
Right. Ty could have been more accurate on the one.
Right.
But Jam might have caught that, whereas Daniel's a bigger back, and he's maybe not going to make that play necessarily, so you have to hit him right in the chest with that pass. Also, pass blocking. Jam Miller's an older guy. He knows what to do. He knows the checks. I mean, he just knows all that stuff. And I'm not trying to throw shade at Daniel Hill. There's other guys. But it just, for Jam, I mean, he's really good at pass blocking. So you missed that as well. So it's just been this mix of, like you said with the car, like all these different things popping up at the same time, and one thing leads to another makes it worse for another part of the offense.
That is Nick Kelly. He'll join us for a few more minutes here at Social Taco. You're listening to Jock's Three-Man Front. It is 10:48. A couple more minutes with Nick Kelly from AL.com covers the Alabama Crimson Tide. All right, so this rematch against Oklahoma, I think we can all agree the way Alabama, if you didn't have maybe just one of those 3 turnovers against Oklahoma, all of a sudden Bama might be hosting this weekend or next weekend as opposed to Oklahoma.
Yeah, or Talty makes that field goal at the end of the half. They lost by 2. I mean, we can play the what-if game all day.
Why do you want to blame Talty?
Oh, let's just blame Talty. Everybody else does.
Hey, to his
Talty
credit,
and Pete Golding. Talty is the new Pete Golding.
Well, I said it's a good thing that Alabama was not playing Ole Miss in Oxford, because I don't know if Alabama fans were going to be able to handle if Pete Golding and the Ole Miss Rebels beat Alabama in the playoff. Like, they would have been inconsolable, really. So
I will tell you this, and I paid very close attention in warm-ups. Now, he might be this way all the time because, I mean, you and Conrad are at every single game. But I was sitting there watching, and he was literally hitting 55-yarders in warm-ups.
Pete Golding?
No. Talty.
No, I know.
No, Golding's got a leg on him, too.
No, he I don't think it's – I don't think he's incapable. I just think that, consistency
kind of a mental
is key
block
for him
and just everything.
Yeah, making sure. And this is his first season handling field goals. Like, I think we just got used to seeing Will Reichard, who's so automatic and so good. But he had, 4 or 5 seasons of doing that? So you don't necessarily get the right. And now I think he went actually 14 for 14 in his first season. So you can get there. But the pressure wasn't quite on him in that 2020 season, as good as that offense was.
Yeah.
Speaking of pressure, how much maybe alleviated for Kalen DeBoer making a college football playoff? Does it matter how he got there, or maybe what this team looked like down the stretch?
I think it helps. I think it definitely cools the seat some, no doubt. I think it would help even more if they beat Oklahoma, which I think is very, very possible. This is not – I think this is the best case scenario, frankly, because I thought they were going to go to A&M and have to play the Aggies. I think Oklahoma's offense doesn't inspire much confidence in me. And so as long as Alabama doesn't make mistakes, I think they're in a decent spot. I mean, it's going to be really hard to score against this defense. Don't get me wrong. But,
you can't give them the short field.
Yeah, you can't give them the short field. But I do think Alabama's in a good spot, and I think that if DeBoer can end the season with at least one playoff win, I think that is some really good momentum going into year 3. But if they end the season on 2 straight losses, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Like, I think that's a tough way to end, and especially because last year didn't end well either. So I think that it's not a must-win per se. I mean, it is if you want to keep playing, but for this season to be considered a success. But I think it's going to help if they do win that game.
So the fervor that we all experienced over the last 48 hours of Notre Dame not getting in, Alabama getting in, Miami getting in, whatever the case may be, the CFP guys that make these decisions, they continue to kick the can down the road by making an ultimate decision on what we're going to have next year at this time. Is it going to be 12 teams? Are we going to expand it to 16? Whatever the case may be. Do you believe what happened this weekend will, I guess, motivate some people that carry some heavy weight in the CFP and the decision makers to possibly make that change?
Potentially. I would say that maybe less so with expansion. I mean, it'll probably expand just because that seems to be what happens every few years.
If they expand, would be 16?
Yeah, it'd be 16.
Okay.
But I think it's more, to me, I get the argument more of why are there 2 group of 5 teams in the playoff when Notre Dame's not, and I shouldn't even say Notre Dame because it's such a hot button topic right now, but a team that I think is a good team.
You say BYU.
Yeah, BYU as well. Like those are good teams. I'm not saying they're elite, but they're good teams.
Right.
And who are you taking if you put Tulane against Notre Dame or you put James Madison against BYU? I'm not saying they couldn't win those games, but I don't know. I think
Vegas would have a heavy favorite to the Power 4.
Right, 100%. And so I think there may be more change in terms of who gets in and how before there would be change to, okay, let's expand a bunch more.
Or even some of the
spots.
criteria maybe?
Yeah,
okay.
and just adjust some of that. And, I mean, heck, the ACC might adjust their tiebreakers after how this went down. So I don't know, that's what maybe I would look at before I would look at expanding, but it's probably going to expand.
When the portal opens up in January, what particular position group are you going to be dialed in on for Alabama?
It's a good question. I think offensive line you've got to look at. I mean, they've got some guys who've got some real good potential. And I think Jackson Lloyd and Michael Carroll are probably the future at tackle. And I think the potential for both is really great. But, yeah, what does the rest of the O-line look like? Because, say, Brailsford goes out for the NFL, you're going to need a center. Caden Proctor's, say he goes out, you're going to need a left tackle. So, like, just all these different spots and just the inconsistency, too. I think they can upgrade in several spots, too. So, I do want to see what they might do there.
As far as high-profile players, not going to name any of them, but could you see potentially maybe one or two of them exploring other potential destinations that fit their game?
It's possible. I think it just comes down to them looking at what does this player cost? What do they, do you want to spend that much on that player? Does that make sense in this system? So we'll see. I mean, I'm assuming you're.
I was careful how I asked it.
I'm assuming you're hinting at a certain, skill player.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think that it's just hard to know without knowing what the roster is going to look like, who's coming back or not. Because, say, Bama at receiver, for example, Jeremy Bernard going to the NFL most likely. So your top guys moving on. And then Isaiah Horton, he could go out. I mean, I think him coming back would make a lot of sense. But you have at least one big receiver spot open. I don't know that you're looking to go find a guy in the portal for that. I don't know that you're looking to have a freshman coming and fill that spot. So I think, to me, it's just hard to know because you don't know when money can motivate a guy. But let me just say I'm not giving up on any receivers on this roster.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
There you go. That is Nick Kelly. You can follow his work at AL.com. Nick, always great to see you.
Good to see you guys, too. Thanks for having me.
Merry Christmas, Nick.
Thank you. Happy holidays. That is Nick Kelly from AL.com joining us here at Three Man Front. We'll kind of monitor what Pete Bavacqua was saying at Notre Dame coming up next hour. We'll also talk a little Heisman Trophy coming up this weekend. That's all straight ahead on Jocks.